In Australia, a 20-year-old Islamic extremist shot four people. And in France, I don't know how this happened, but you listen to the story. It's kind of crazy. A man with a knife decapitated one lady, literally cut off her head, and killed two other people at a church. So I don't understand this, because literally, if I see somebody with a knife cutting off one lady's head, option one, I'm fighting back. Option two, I'm leaving. Option three, this must be Blade to be killing three people with a knife.
Right, that's what I was thinking too. I was just like, damn, that's crazy. I mean, they didn't really go into what details on what kind of knife the guy had, but I was just like, Jesus. And I was like, it's not bad enough the teacher had it happen. Like, now here we are, and there's somebody else fucking doing it in another place.
I mean, that's why I think the UK terror level went up from substantial to severe, because literally you got the extremists killing two cases of extremists, and then you got the people against the extremists. They just killed the teacher, so it's like kind of like, and it all happened the same, pretty much like week. Like,
and apparently they released a video against France stating that they were gonna start reissuing attacks on France as well.
So, I mean, let's think about it. If I was France, I kind of understand, because you kind of like already got COVID going on. Second off, you got this whole thing going on where it's like, I'm pretty sure that you read into it about how like Europe is talking about shutting back down again.
Yes, I have. I'm just trying to ignore it.
Yeah, I don't understand it, but to me, they worry about that because you never know. Like, let's say somebody do shut down, like they do shut back down, and then not that many people are on the street, and that's more time for people just being in the house making shit that they not supposed to be making, and then you never know, they could make like a gas bomb full of COVID.
I mean, they could be making a lot of stuff, to be honest.
Well, I wasn't trying to think of it and say it, because you never know how people may think, and you never want to be correct, because
nor do I want to be put on a terrorist list.
Nowhere close. But I just trying to think of like the best case scenario that literally, like, I understand why they doing this increase in the terror level.
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, but they're trying to say that there's no like threats against the UK, and that they're still doing it. And like, it's not like they're raising it from like green to yellow, or something simple. Like, this is the second to last level.
I mean, I think if things keep going the way they're going, I feel like they in their head they thinking like, all right, we already got two, like pretty much three people with their head cut off some type of way. I'm still surprised that, like, literally, I'm going back to the story about literally, you was in a church with two other people, and literally they watch you get your head cut off, because it ain't like it's like a sword where it's just like one slice.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get that either. Maybe they were trying to fight for it. Maybe the dude just won.
A head cut off.
I'm just trying to.
A head is. He had enough time to cut off a head. Listen to what I'm saying. If he had enough time to cut off one head, he should have enough time to cut off all three heads. Because if I was in the church, first off, if I see somebody with a knife, I'm throwing Bibles at him. Sorry, God, but I feel like you would do the same thing. I would throw Bibles at him and then try to get as close as possible. And then understand, like, hey, if I take him down, somebody else better have my back, because, I mean, he got one knife.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, I don't know. I've been to church in a while. I was going to say I wouldn't bring a gun to church, but nowadays I guess I would, especially from all the shit that happens.
I mean, after Dylan Roof, I feel like some people at church starting to bring guns.
I mean, shit, I don't blame them. Shit, if I was the pastor or the priest, I'd be like, yeah, like, y'all need to bring your guns in here, just in case somebody ever walks in this shit.
I mean, now they're starting to have, like, actual security guards in certain churches where they have guns and stuff standing on the outside.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
I mean, you gotta think about it. After that white kid went to the church and killed 9 people.
Yeah, I know that was something I was thinking of, but I just wasn't going to say it.
No, that's why I brought up his name, Dylan Roof. I'm going to keep bringing up his name because due to that crazy, like, you got to think about it. people go there to praise God, and the way everybody made it seem like everybody was accepting him and was treating him like a regular person, but then he just decided that he had so much hate in his heart and he killed 9 people that day.
Yeah, it's a fucked up world we live in. Really, really fucked up.
So I can understand, like, you never know, like, what's going through UK. It's better to be wrong and then increase the terror level than be correct and then wait till the last minute to try to increase it. And like, if you knew these threats, because you never know what type of threats they actually got, like they actually like hacked into and figured out, and they just act like they don't know.
I mean, I'm sure it's a lot. I mean, you just think about all the threats that America gets, and I mean, you're talking about another really big country that's dominant in like something like NATO and stuff like that, and then also into world wars. I mean, even though they're not technically world wars, but to me, whenever you're not in your own country fighting a war, to me that's, and especially since a lot of countries actually join in, to me that's considered a world war. But so I mean, and like I said, UK is a dominant thing.
I mean, that's why I said, like, you never know what type of somebody hacked into somebody else thing where, like, hey, y'all taking these terrorists not seriously, but y'all, it's the next place they're going to attack.
I mean, yeah, you think of London, that's a big tourist spot, and that's also a big city center. So, I mean, it wouldn't be that hard for people to go there and do that kind of stuff, and it would be easy picking because of the population.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not trying to say that like it's a good thing.
I mean, I just use common sense, just like you. If I was a terrorist, I would attack something that has a lot of people so that people know I'm serious and who I am compared to attack something small.
I don't know. I just want to know what half these people think. Like, I mean, to me, I don't get it. Like, I would never once in my life I ever thought, like, hey, let's go kill a bunch of people.
Me either.
Or do half of this shit, like, never once have I thought about actually cutting somebody's head off.
I mean, my whole thing is they probably, like, look at the kid situation. He was brainwashed. Because if his parents let him go, first off, if I'm that kid parent and the kid was like, hey, I want to buy some weapons, for what? Oh, a teacher showed me the Prophet of Muhammad. I'll tell on the teacher and that whole thing. Not, oh yeah, y'all should go kill that teacher.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like, you gotta think about it as a parent. Before your kid gets to the stage where he actually had a knife to go cut the teacher off, there's certain steps that went to that. You bought the weapon. You drove him to the house. You, as a parent, you know your kid's friend's house for the most part.
I mean, at least you should, but nowadays they probably don't. But I mean, I'm going to assume since they were both extremists that they probably did.
So let's say, like, the people's house, and for you to drop them off, and as most parents, what would you say when your kids leave? Hey, what y'all about to go do?
Yeah, I mean, that would be what I'd say. That's what my parents always used to say.
So, me losing common sense, this is what, as a good parent, you are saying. And none of them times did he ever say, hey, I'm about to go kill this teacher because he said something about the Prophet Muhammad.
Yeah, I don't know. Me was always fighting. But I was actually like sitting there with a weapon. I used to just fist to fist everybody.
I mean, and then I'm still going back to the fucking French. Well, the Australian guy, not to make him the 20-year-old, is also an idiot because he shot 4 random people. But I still can't believe in one church, 3 people, and one person got their head cut off. Just going back to that.
You can't seem to give that up, can you?
Because I'm just thinking about, like, all right, I'm not the strongest person in the world, but I at least have enough fight that you're not going to cut off my head.
I mean, depending on what kind of church they are, I mean, that Bible can be pretty fucking thick.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I have weapons around me. Second off, it's 3 people.
And they got all those candle stands and shit usually. I mean, there's all kinds of shit. Like, especially, like, I want to say, like, what some of the altar boys, like, carry those those big giant hooks. And that shit's usually laying around invisible sight.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, we'd be having a backyard brawl. And I'm not going to fucking, especially if my life on the line. I feel like God wanted me to lose this as a weapon.
Yeah, I mean, you are in his place of worship.
Well, let's talk about another topic about how China is restricting the import of certain Australian goods.
Yeah, so apparently they are limiting or restricting barley, timber, and they are currently holding a $1.4 million lobster load. All because, you want to know what? Probably because China created COVID.
And then
Just saying it, because why else would they not want you to look into the origins? Like, what the fuck does it really matter that much if we figure out where exactly it came from, and why are you trying to hide it so bad?
I mean,
if you didn't.
If China, according to China, you know, if it looked worse if they actually do figure out the origins came from a lab. So, you know, China, they're trying to make sure nobody really figure out where it came from. And then, of course, Australia's like, we need it. And Australia mind, they like, you know, we giving you goods. We afraid that you may give it to us too when you return the chips or something.
Yeah.
I mean, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I mean, you know, it's just crazy. Like I said, you know, my whole thing is, if you ain't got nothing to hide, then what are you hiding?
No, we could, you know, China's hiding a lot of stuff. But also, this also kind of sad for Australia because by Australia, I mean China, like not taking in a lot of these goods. China is one of the major
importers
of Australian goods, so this may also cripple Australia financial system. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there's other countries and shit they could sell their stuff to. To be completely honest,
I know they can, but I'm just saying, if you already, like, you gotta think about it. If you already have a plan with somebody, and then they go back on their plan, then now you're fucked with a whole bunch of stuff. And then if I'm a country, like let's say if Australia, I could take all that goods, but I'm not gonna pay what China paying. I would pay a lot cheaper because I know you gotta sell this stuff.
Yeah, I mean,
like if I was Japan, I'd be like, hey, I buy that ship for $1.4 million for $800,000.
Yeah, but you know the fucked up part is, you know they probably already took all those lobsters, right?
Oh, I already know.
That's what I was in there thinking as I'm reading that. And I'm like, all right, maybe they'd probably like let the timber go, but like I would almost guarantee you that they actually unloaded that lobster ship and gave it to their people already. Because, I mean, yeah, it was a live load of lobsters, but I mean, I don't know how long they're actually good for.
Like, I already know. And then you got to think about it. We have a higher health type thing, food
regulations.
Yeah, regulations in most countries. So let's just imagine certain countries probably no ice, dead lobster already at the bottom of the thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not that familiar with whole lobster transportation, but I'm just going to assume that I mean, I know that a lot of the ships actually have ice making capabilities, but considering they literally said live lobsters, I'm going to assume that it has to have some sort of holding tank with aeration.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, you know, I mean, that's a lot of lobsters, and they got a lot of people to feed. And lobsters aren't cheap.
Yeah. I feel like pirates, supposedly. I already see pirates went on that ship and stole the lobsters, also known as China people just came back.
Or probably they'll probably just be like, oh, the ship came empty. Sorry, that's probably racist to say that in that voice. But they're probably going to say the ship.
Very racist. This is where we're going to end that podcast. Oh, my God. Well, if we don't have another episode, we know why.
I promise I'm not racist. It's just habit.
So you do that all the time, huh?
I do with everybody. It doesn't matter. I even make fun of hillbillies.
Huh. One day I ask you for your black person voice. But this is all for the Two Guys Two Beers podcast. Again, we are not talking shit about China. We do want to go to these countries. But
yeah. I'm going to say we're going to skip China.
Okay. Well, I want to go to China.
Yeah, all right. Well, wherever you don't come back.
I mean, you just going to do One Guy, One Beer podcast.
Pretty much.
I mean, I feel like you go to find another guy and say Phantom has... I found Phantom 2 now, but...
I'll probably just hire a girl, to be completely honest.
Understandable.
And I'd be like, yeah, so Phantom got a sex change.
So you hear it here first. I'm coming missing. I'm dead somewhere.
Yeah, now you're probably sitting in the fucking China jail, taking the long dick of the law.